At the Orange Bowl, this is Mel Allen with Elmer Langsman. Elmer, what are you looking for in this game tonight in the general styles of attack and defense?
Well, like any old football player, Mel, the first thing I look for is weather conditions and field conditions. Of course, the field is in ideal shape. There has been no rain down here. It rained about 2 days ago for about an hour. The temperature at game time here is 78 degrees. The humidity is 79%. The wind is from the south at 9 miles per hour, and of course the forecast is for fair weather, and fair weather we have had. This Orange Bowl crowd, when they do a job, they do it well. They've had several parties and functions before the game for these teams. It's been wonderful. And of course the weatherman has cooperated fully in bringing us a wonderful evening of football weather. From the Georgia Tech team, I expect to see offensively a very fast football team, extremely fast back, fast end, a very fast-moving club. And of course, from the Florida Gators, one thing I do expect to see is a very fine quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner, and an All-America selection, Steve Spurrier, the fine quarterback of the Florida Gators. Mel?
These two teams are both explosive. Georgia Tech, for example, has a backup quarterback that came King by the name of Larry Goode. He runs with the ball more than King does. And Harmon Wages, who backs up Spurrier, isn't as spectacular, but still is a very sound and very alert football player. The two teams stack up from a standpoint of weight. The offensive line for Georgia Tech is 214 pounds, Florida 224. The defensive backs, Georgia Tech 191, Florida 200. The defensive line, Georgia Tech 208, and Florida 195. The defensive backs, Georgia Tech 173. And with slight variations, depending, of course, on the substitutions that are made. Jimmy Brown, who had been hurt, a backup man for Lenny Snow, the All-America tailback for Georgia Tech, has been running quite well. Introductions of the players are being made and are being cheered on field. They're being made for the TV crews particularly. Jimmy Brown was just introduced, and Kim King. And Giles Smith, who plays two ways. In fact, he's the only player that is schooled really in the fundamentals of both offensive and defensive play for Georgia Tech. He played on offense for 2 years, but this year has been used largely at a position they call the wrecker back, which is a bit of terminology introduced by line coach Bud Carson. They call the Tech defense the Carson's Raiders, or Wreckers. Some schools call him the monster, but in essence, he's the roamer.
That's about what it amounts to, Mel. Of course, when you mention offensive backs, you're talking about Lenny Snow. Lenny Snow this year is the South's leading rusher. He gained 761 yards and 202 carries for a 3.8-yard average. And of course, on the other side, with the University of Florida, we have Larry Smith, a great big tall boy, 6 feet 4 inches tall, 216 pounds at the tailback position. He carried the ball 162 times for 742 yards and a 4.6 average. So we've got explosive power in the backfield, along with the fine passing arms of both Kim King and Steve Spurrier.
And now the officials, the referee, Pete Williams from Miami, the umpire, R.L. Patey of Jackson, Tennessee, the linesman, D.L. Claiborne of Easy Point, Georgia, the field judge, Johnny Langford of Atlanta, the back judge, Johnny Grace of West Helena, Arkansas, and operating the electric clock, Jimmy Harper of Atlanta. And they are now escorting the captains. And for Georgia Tech, the defensive captains, Billy Shore and Sammy Burke, the offensive captains, Bill Moore and Jim Breland. And for Florida, Bill Carr and Red Anderson, center and guard respectively. We are having the introductions of the co-captains with Orange Bowl queens and princesses surrounding them. And now they're meeting the officials. And shortly we'll have the toss of the coin for the 33rd Orange Bowl. Georgia Tech, wearing white uniforms and gold trousers. Their colors are white and old gold. Florida's colors, orange and blue. They're wearing blue jerseys with white numerals, white trousers with an orange stripe. Now the toss of the coin. Won by the Gators of Florida. They have elected to receive. And Georgia Tech has now the option of gold. And Georgia Tech will kick off from the west, or to our left and your left as you look at the radio dial. And so the Georgia Tech kickoff team will pick up for you in just a moment. We'll have Dee Turner, Chris Denny, Haven Kicklighter, Tommy Elliott, Giles Smith, Tommy Gresham, Jim Kilty, Sammy Burke, Bill Wallace, Doug Dale with Tommy Carmichael scheduled to do the kicking off. Both teams now are gathered on the sidelines, having a last moment of prayer, and now they take their positions. Georgia Tech will kick off from our left. Florida gathering on the 40-yard line, preparatory to moving into its receiving formation. And they will have along the front Preston, Dennis, Benson, Morris, and Carr with Ewaldson and Yarborough at the 35. McKee and Barfield, and with Grandy and Smith, the two deep men. Now Carmichael runs forward. Here's the boot. It's up into the air, going down to the 6-yard line, taken by Smith. He's back to the 15, to the 20, drives to the 25-yard line, and is upended at that point by Tommy Carmichael, who did the kicking off. Florida's ball first and 10 on its 26-yard line. Florida with Steve Spurrier at quarterback deploys his men with the wingback right, and the handoff goes to Graham McKeel, the fullback, and he drives beautifully across the 30 up to about the 34-yard line. Tackled by Sammy Burke, the free safety man for Tech.
That's a typical opening play for any team to run. They ran the fullback straight up the middle to see what type defense they were going to run into. Of course, they ran into a 4-3, and it was a typical play that gained yardage.
Second and 2, Spurrier fades for a pass, throws one to Trap deep downfield, overthrows him at the 35-yard line. He was being covered by Haven Kicklighter, but Spurrier overthrew him.
Well, the wingback Trap is a very fast man. He runs the 100 yards in 9.8 seconds. And, man, that's really steaming, Mel. To get that there on that wingback position and cut straight up the field, and normally he shakes himself loose. He's being covered by one man this evening.
Third and 2 for Florida on its 34. Trap out on the flank. The ball is given to Larry Smith. Tailback breaks off the right side of the Tech line for the first downs. He drives to midfield. Beautiful hole opened on the right side of the Tech line. The tackle made by the free safety man, Sammy Burke, a senior who weighs 178 pounds. As Larry Smith, an all-Southeastern Conference sophomore and first-team selection, picks up the first down. This time he's got the ball going wide, gets a block from the guard, gets away, almost away from one tackler, but he held on to his ankle and dropped him on the 46-yard line. Larry Smith stopped by Sammy Burke.
A very fine defensive play that time by Sammy Burke, coming up from his safety position in behind the blocker to make the tackle on Larry Smith, who was running wide to his right. Now the ball is positioned on the far side of the field, on the 46-yard line of Florida. And of course,
Tom Christian has replaced Larry Smith. It's 2nd and 9. A pass from Spurrier is incomplete, just past midfield. The intended receiver was Graham McKeel, the fullback, with Bill Shore, the left linebacker, covering. It is 3rd and 9 coming up. The ball on the 46-yard line of the Gators of Florida, a nickname that was applied to them in an odd sort of a way many years ago by a Jacksonville merchant who went to visit his son attending law school up in Virginia. Now this time Spurrier, the ball rolls out to his left, throws a pass incomplete. It was intended for Tom Christian. David Barber, the wrecker, was over to cover, but Spurrier seems to be off in his throwing, or else the pattern is not being run, Elmer.
Well, first of all, Mel, Spurrier's a little bit slow in getting back there. That time he rolled to his left and tried to hit Tom Christian, the tailback out there, but of course was unsuccessful, throwing short and behind the receiver. Spurrier goes back to punt on 4th down.
He gets a kick away from the 35-yard line. Sammy Burke out there signals for a fair catch just inside the 20-yard line, and Tech takes over. They sent a triple safety back. There's timeout on the field with the score. Florida nothing, Georgia Tech nothing.
This is Morgan Beatty, NBC News, asking, what about today's rebellious young? Are they cool cats, swingers? What do they believe? Or do today's youngsters from 14 through 17 grow up without beliefs?
We're doing what we feel like we're doing. Just ourselves. We're real. As far as I'm concerned, I'm real. I'm as real as can be.
Some youngsters are caught up in the cool rebellion.
Well, it's pretty common. Just about every school kid that I know that's going to these suburb schools, they're supposed to be clean cut. Take those.
Second Sunday, the NBC radio documentary series on provocative subjects. Next Sunday, the series takes a fascinating look at young teenagers, kids caught up in the cool rebellion. Listen as my colleague Bill Ryan questions guys who look like dolls and dolls who wear miniskirts over most of these NBC stations next Sunday.
Georgia Tech's ball, 1st and 10, and it's on 19-yard line. And the ball is given to Lenny Snow. He sails through the middle, up down the sideline of the 40 to midfield, and out of bounds on the Gator 45-yard line. Lenny Snow on a handoff, running from the I formation, found a hole in the right side of the Florida line and sprinted down the sideline to the 45-yard line. A 35-yard run.
That was a wonderful play that time, a good call, a fine trap block by Buddy McCoy, the left guard, to spring Lenny Snow loose on a wonderful run.
This time, a pass is incomplete at the 40, almost intercepted by safety man Larry Rentz. It was intended for Steve Allman, the tight end. Larry Rentz is a 152-pound safety man, almost intercepted that ball.
Well, to run as fast as he can, he runs the 40 in 4.4. He's got to be very thin because you can't have much wind resistance running like that, can you?
Not much at all. Mike Ford here, who plays the left or split end, comes out wide to the right. Almond goes to the other end. This time there is a swing pass out to Giles Smith. He's to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, and down to the 23-yard line. Giles Smith, who had gone in for Lenny Snow, tackled by Larry Rentz. And Tech has exploded.
Well, Florida is set up now in a 6-2. Now, on the 6-2, of course, they're running Georgia Tech is running a very strong left into them. That time, Giles Smith, the tailback, ran to his right. In other words, opposite the motion, they just threw a little swing pass to him, and off he went.
A 23-yard play. Joel Stevenson flanks out to the left. The handoff goes to Lenny Snow back in the game. He gets up to the 20-yard lines. He cracked into the center, piled up by Steve Height, the right linebacker for Florida. The ball's on the 21, a gain of 1, making it 3rd and 9 for Georgia Tech. Joel Stevenson, split end. He's out wide to the left. Lenny Snow in motion. Kim King rolls out, looking for a passer. He throws to Stevenson, the end zone, over the end zone, and over the head of the intended receiver. There's a marker on the play. George Grandy tried to cover Stevenson, but he got him behind him. Pass interference. Pass interference against Florida, putting the ball on the 9-yard line. George Grandy, I guess it was, that interfered.
Yes, it was Grandy that interfered. Georgia Tech is running basically from the I formation, strong left or right with flankers.
Mike Fortier is wide to the right. Kim King keeps the ball. Now it's Wood with the ball. And he gets to 10. No, it was King. King still in the quarterback. Kim King, number 18. Trying to pick up blocking with the tailback and fullback leading him. Snow and Harvin. but he lost to the 10-yard line, so it is second down and 10 to go for a TD. Wayne McCall is in the Florida defensive setup now. They've got 5 backs in there. Craig Bainham, the flanker's out wide to the left. Kim King fades, fires a pass, and it is complete for a touchdown to Craig Bainham, the flanker. And Tech leads 6-0. He threw it over George Grandy. An 81-yard drive for a touchdown featuring 2 explosive plays, one for 35 and one for 23 yards. And now the try for the extra point. Ken Bonifay will hold, and Bunky Henry will try the extra point. They're waiting the snap from center. It comes directly back to Bunky Henry. He's running with it, and he fails to get across. Now, I couldn't tell whether that was deliberately done, Elmer. It was a high pass. Whether it was deliberately done to try and gain the 2, or whether Bunky Henry just simply took the highest snap and tried to run for it.
Well, I wasn't in the huddle either, Mel, but I believe that the center was high, and of course Bunky Henry improvised by just taking off and running with it and trying to get the 2 points. I don't believe any coach will actually try to get 2 points out after a first touchdown. It's only when you're behind. Usually go for the almost sure point after touchdown with the placement type kick.
Besides which, Bunky Henry has kicked 32 out of 32 this year. Now the kickoff by Tommy Carmichael. The ball going down to the goal line. Taken by Smith. Is up to the 5, 10, 15 to the 20. Drives to the 24-yard line. Tackled by Chris Denny. And so it is Florida's ball, 1st and 10, and it's 24. There's timeout on the field with the score, Georgia Tech 6, Florida nothing.
Saturday Morning Monitor host, inviting you to join me on Monitor 67. Monitor 67, the new, vibrant, sparkling sound of radio. Monitor 67 on NBC Radio. Monitor 67 every weekend.
Run the ball to the 28-yard line during the commercial. We shall never attempt to interfere with play with a commercial, but that was unavoidable there. Steve Spurrier fades back to his 20, throws a swing pass and completes it to Tommy Smith, who drives to the 30-yard line before he's down by Eric Wilcox and W.T. Blaine. Blaine, the middle linebacker, Wilcox, the right end. The ball is spotted just short of the 30, bringing up a situation where Spurrier drops back to punt, standing on his 15, a triple punt set up with Burke Eastman and Smith back. The snap from center, the kick has gotten away, a nice high floater. Going down, a fair catch signaled for inside the 30. Jimmy Brown, who also is back there, received it, and the ball is down on the 28-yard line of Georgia Tech. The Rambling Wreck so far has controlled this ball game. 1st and 10, they're 28. Punt was good for 42 yards. Georgia Tech has Mike Fortier at left end, Bill Moore at tackle, Buddy McCoy at left guard, Jim Breland at center, Rick Nelson at right guard, Lamar Wright at right tackle, Steve Allman at right end. And in the backfield, Kim King at quarterback, Lenny Snow at left half, Doc Harbin at fullback, and Craig Bainham at the flanker back position. Florida's defensive setup Mike Santilli at left end, Don Giordano at left tackle, Red Anderson at left guard, Bill Dorsey at right guard. The guards flip-flop, by the way. They'll shift around. Brian Jetter at right tackle, Don Barrett at right end. The linebackers, Jack Card, he's an exciting fellow to watch. He only weighs 158 pounds. Steve Height, the right linebacker. Then they have Bobby Downs, Larry Rentz, and George Grandy. Tech has had 3 first downs to 1 for Florida. Tech's ball first and 10 in its own 28. And with Kim King giving the ball to Lenny Snow, he tries to slant to his left, but the right side of the Gator line, spearheaded by Don Barrett, stop him. At the 29-yard line, a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 on the 29.
Mel, that was a very fine play that time on the part of Don Barrett, the defensive right end of the Florida Gators. Gators are set up in a 6-2-3 out here, playing both their linebackers very tight in the middle of the line.
Fortier is the end wide to the right. King fires out into the flat. It's incomplete. It was intended for Mike Fortier, the split end, who went to the other side. The split end is a normal left end, but he went to the right side, exchanged positions with Steve Almond. So it is 3rd and 9 coming up for Tech on the Georgia Tech 29. The pass play was covered by defensive left halfback Bobby Downs. John Weaver goes in for Doc Harbin at fullback for Georgia Tech as they line up in a slot right. Kim King rolls out to his left, being chased, fires the ball incomplete, intended for Mike Fortier. With Brian Jetter, the right tackle, pursuing him beautifully, forcing him to get rid of that ball in a hurry, and it was not accurately thrown at all.
Of course, Kim King, Mel, is a left-handed passer, and he's rolling basically to his left most of the time. They're flooding zones on the right side of the Florida Gators defensive unit, or else he's throwing across field to the weak side to Mike Fortier, the split end.
Punt formation, 4th and 9 for Tech, and it's 29. Charlie Mason, standing on his 15, will get the kick away. Grandy is deep. The ball is almost blocked, but a nice kick has gotten away. Grandy backs up and lets the ball get by him, rolling down to the 10 to the 5, and it'll be covered by Tech right on the 2-yard line. How about that? A 73-yard punt. That ball took a tremendous bounce after it was misjudged by Grandy.
Actually, the punt was misjudged by Grandy. The ball was kicked very, very high. Mason, who averaged a little over 39 yards per kick this year, got the ball way up into the air, and as the ball started to settle down, the tail of the ball came down. And, of course, when it hit the ground, it rolled to beat the band all the way down to the 2-yard line of the Florida Gators. So they're in trouble now. They're tight with first down.
And the handoff by Spurrier is to left halfback Larry Smith, who gets about 2 yards, coming out to the 4-yard line off the left side of the Tech line, with the wrecker, David Barber, making the stop. We have 7 minutes to play in the first quarter, with Georgia Tech out in front 6-0 by virtue of an 81-yard drive. From the eye, and with the flanker wide to the left, there is a breakthrough by Larry Smith on a handoff right up the middle across the 15, picking up the first down. He got to about the 17-yard line, where Haven Kicklighter, the left corner man, came up to make the stop. Elmer, that play was set up beautifully because he put that fast man trap on the flanker to the left, and looking for that, they ran him up the middle.
Not only that, a fine trap by Jim Benson, the right guard, sprung it loose.
On the next play, fullback Graham McKeel on the handoff got back to about the line of scrimmage, piled up by Randall Edmonds, the right linebacker. Tech is sending in a defensive substitution. 2nd down and 9. The ball is spotted on the 18. Bill Kennard goes into the middle linebacker spot. Spurrier fires a long pass, incomplete. Intended for Yarborough. He had 2 men going downfield, Yarborough and Trapp.
Georgia Tech that time, Mel, put 5 defensive backs in there, of course, expecting the pass by Steve Spurrier. Spurrier took the ball, rolled out to his left, stopped, tried to hit a man coming down over the middle, down and towards the flag on the left side of the field. However, the pass was completely overthrown, and I think Spurrier is having trouble trying to find his targets this evening.
Giles Smith has just gone back in, replacing Kennard. It is 3rd and 9 on the 18. Spurrier back. He fires a pass incomplete. That's the 30-yard line. Overthrowing Paul Ewaldson, the 6'2", 193-pound split end.
And again, Mel, that ball was a little bit high. He's overthrown the last two passes. So that means that Spurrier has got to do a choice, really, to do two things. Number one, he's got to really stand back there and nail that ball down by throwing his hand down into the ground, or else he must get back there a little bit faster and set up a little bit quicker in order to spot his receiver down the field in order to hit him with a little more time. Now, he is not being rushed too badly from the center, so he can always step up into the pocket. He's being rushed from the outside, so he must get back deep, and of course step back up in the middle. There's an injured ball player for Georgia Tech.
That's John Lagana.
And it's John Lagana.
John Lagana, the left tackle. He's being replaced by Bill Middleton. Meanwhile, going into the game is Jimmy Brown, who, along with Giles Smith, will be in a double safety setup for Georgia Tech. And now Sammy Burke drops back just in front of them at the 45-yard line of Florida.
Mel, this could be significant with Lagana going out of the game and Bill Middleton coming in. Lagana, of course, is a very fine junior tackle for the Georgia Tech defensive unit. Good, hard rushing guy, big 226-pound boy from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's been a mainstay in this Tech defense all season long.
Steve Spurrier, standing on his 3-yard line, takes the snap, gets his kick away. Over the far side of the field, Jimmy Brown signals for a fair catch at the Georgia Tech 43-yard line. A 35-yard punt from the line of scrimmage. And it's Georgia Tech's ball, and they got good field position. On the exchange, 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line where they finally had spotted it down. Kim King in at quarterback. Slot right with Mike Fortier over on the right end. He is the wide end. The ball is given to Lenny Snow, and he tries to cut up the middle, gets across midfield into Gator territory to the Florida 48-yard line. Tackled by Brian Jetter, the right tackle for the Florida Gators from Gainesville. Second down, short yardage, and there goes Lenny Snow driving across the 45 to the 43 where Brian Jetter again makes the stop.
Tech that time, Mel, went strong left that time, brought John Sias, the wingback, back in motion, back of the offensive running back, and with Lenny Snow from the right halfback position, ran a strong counterplay, as they call it, back into the weak side, into the short side of the field, in an attempt to pick up the first down, which he did. So it'll be a first down for Georgia Tech from the 43-yard line of the Florida Gators. That's the fourth first down that Georgia Tech has made this evening. And, of course, they're starting to roll again late in the first period.
Tom Hungerbuehler has gone in on defense for Florida. Mike Fortier, the wide end, is over to the right this time. The ball is given to Lenny Snow, finds a big hole up the middle, slants out to the right, comes up to the 37-yard line where Brian Jetter makes the stop. That's the third tackle he's made in a row. A 6-yard gain.
Very fine.
2nd and 4.
Very fine blocking that time, Mel, on the part of Rick Nelson, the right guard of Tech, and Lamar Wright, the right tackle of Georgia Tech.
Lenny Snow is from Daytona Beach, Florida. Both sides have men from each other's states on there. In motion goes the wing back, but the handoff to Lenny Snow up the middle across the 35, gets down to about the 32-yard line where he's upended by Red Anderson, the co-captain left guard for Florida. And now we'll have a line substitution. Lenny Snow comes out for one in the backfield.
Actually, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets have found by starting John Sias, the wingback, back in the motion.
Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead, Mel. They're rotating, actually, defensively.
Terry Story is out of the game. Bill Moore is in. And there's a crack up the middle to about the 30. Giles Smith, who replaced Lenny Snow, carried the ball. The ball is put down on the 31-yard line. Don Giordano, the left tackle, made the stop for Florida. He made 86 tackles during the season. The ball's on the 31. It is second down. 8 to go for Tech. 3 minutes playing time remaining in the first period. Tech leading 6-0. Kim King fires a pass which is intercepted at the 22-yard line by Florida. John Barrett, defensive right end, caught the ball, intended for Steve Allman, the tight end, who had spread out to the left. And so the Gators stopped this Tech drive that had begun on the Tech 43. They trailed 6-0. It's 1st and 10 for Florida on the Florida 21-yard line. Steve Spurrier, who has had very little success in passing tonight, feeling the pressure perhaps. There's a lot of folks looking at him, not only fans, but other folks as well who might be interested in his future services, Elmer.
They certainly are. I know that quite a few of the professional clubs down here are watching Steve Spurrier, watching his motion out here. The boy looks pretty good to me. Not that I'm a great criterion of a quarterback. I was a running back myself, but I know the things that they look for. They look for a passer that throws the ball, first of all, overhand. Secondly, they look for a guy that can get back there very, very quickly and set himself up in order to pick his receivers up down the field. And, of course, third, they want that guy that can throw that ball and nail it very sharp and lay it up there nice and long and soft and fluffy for those very deep passes. Spurrier has all the criterions of a fine quarterback at 6 feet 2 inches tall and 203 pounds.
Dick Trapp, the flanker back, comes out to the left. Yarborough wide to the right. The handoff goes to fullback Graham McKeel, who moves across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Gains 6 yards on the play, making it 2nd down and 4.
Now, Florida, of course, has found that the Georgia Tech defensive line is starting to loop a little bit, and as they're looping with a man in motion, they're running back against the grain.
The handoff this time to tailback Larry Smith. He gets back to the line of scrimmage where Randall Edmonds, the right linebacker, stopped him. So it'll be 3rd down. Billy Shore, the left linebacker, also helped out. It'll be 3rd and 5.
And, of course, Mel, 3rd and 5, any 3rd down play in football is the most important play of a set. So as a result, Spurrier has to call the play now to keep this ball.
He's got Trapp wide to the right, but throws over here to the near sideline, completes it at the 32-yard line to his left end, Paul Ewaldson, who was knocked out of bounds by Bill Eastman, the defensive right halfback.
Well, Mel, he's very close to the 1st down, looking where the ball is marked on this side of the field, the south side of the field. The ball is set down just over the stripe of the 31-yard line. Of course, the referee is calling for the yard markers to come in. Now, it's up to the offensive captain, of course, to call them in. That's correct. The offensive captain, Billy Carr, says, I want to see how far we've got to go for that 1st down. And the chain gang comes out on the field. Remember I said the ball will be marked, of course, by the official, by the sideline official, where he marked the pass receiver going out of bounds. They bring the yardsticks all the way over to this side of the field. They are marking the ball. There's about a half a yard, actually, to go for the 1st down. So it'll be 4th down for the Florida Gators from their own 31-yard line. And, of course, at this stage of the game, I'm sure that they will be forced into punting the ball and giving it over to the Tech ball club.
Florida's going to go for it. Tech was undecided. They'd sent Brown in. Now the secondary's moved in tight, and Steve Spurrier's asking for quiet. He's running from an eye with McKeel and Larry Smith in behind him and Trapp on the left flank. And he gives it to Smith, who drives for the 1st down. A gambling play deep in their own territory.
And that kind of shows you, Mel, why I was a running back and not a quarterback, right?
Well, you have to admire Steve Spurrier. He has that gambling instinct, and he went for the 1st down to the 33. And now, with a flanker left, he hands it off to Larry Smith. He finds a hole, breaks to the 40, to the 45, and down on the 47-yard line. Larry Smith, a 6'4", 216-pounder, the Southeastern Conference Sophomore of the Year, and a first-team SEC selection. The ball is on the 46. The tackle was made by Haven Kicklighter.
That was a wonderful individual effort that time, Mel, on the part of Larry Smith. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, broke away, and picked up about 12 yards for another 1st down.
Spurrier rolls out, fires the pass, and completes it to Trapp in Tech territory at the 46-yard line. He goes out of bounds, stopping the clock with 50 seconds to go in the first period, with Georgia Tech leading 6-0. Bill Eastman, the right halfback, ran him out. The ball is spotted down on the 47.
Well, you can tell that Richard Trapp, the flankerback, or the wingback, rather, of the Florida ball clubs is very well respected by both cornerbacks, Kicklighter and Eastman of Georgia Tech. They're playing him very deep.
This time Smith carries the ball, slants to the right, gets to the 45-yard line before his hole is blocked by Sammy Burke, the free safety man, who came up to stop him. Mike McCann replaced Paul Ewaldson at split end for Florida. The ball's on the 46. It is third down coming up.
Larry Smith goes out now, and Tom Christian comes in his place at the tailback position for Florida.
3rd and 2. And Christian carries the ball and finds a hole on the right side of the Tech line and gets to the 39-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. Sammy Burke makes the stop. It's the 5th first down for the Gators. Tech has had 5 also. And with that play, the period has come to an end. That's the end of the first quarter with a score. Georgia Tech 6, Florida nothing.
This is Ray Scherer, NBC News White House correspondent. My NBC News microphone usually is located in a booth near the presidential office at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Not always, though. Like the chief executive himself, the White House correspondent often is on the move, aboard a 600-mile-an-hour jet spanning continents, or chugging slowly on a boat on a Texas lake, cruising in a motorcade through crowds of cheering onlookers, or cloistered quietly in a rustic retreat in the Maryland mountains. But wherever I go, an NBC microphone goes with me, poised to capture the words of the leader of the Western world and the personalities who are with him. A White House correspondent lives with his job 24 hours a day. He must be ready at any moment of day or night to convey to the world events which in a flash could change the course of history. Your link to that world is an NBC microphone. It is as close to you as this setting on your radio dial.
Tech leads 6-0 as we start the second quarter. Florida in possession, 1st and 10. On the Tech 41, Trapp flanks out wide to the left. Ewaldson splits out wide to the right. The handoff goes to Wayne Barfield, who's in at fullback. He gets short yardage, stopped by Bill Middleton, the left tackle. He got to the 39-yard line. A gain of 2, making it 2nd and 8 for Florida. And a substitution in the secondary for Georgia Tech. Giles Smith comes in at the wrecker spot for Dave Barber. Dick Trapp flanks out to the left and from the I formation. Spurrier spins out, goes left, flips one to Barfield, incomplete. Almost intercepted by the man covering him, who was Bill Eastman. And Spurrier still is not on target.
He's having difficulty picking out his receiver, it looks like to me, because when he's throwing with a very quick motion. He's only completed 3 of 9 passes this evening, and most of his passes have been overthrown. Of course, if you're going to make an error in throwing the ball, one thing you want to do is overthrow it and not underthrow it, because when you underthrow it, that's when the defensive man is in position to intercept on you.
3rd down and a little better than 8 to go. And out of a double wing setup with a flanker out left, Spurrier fires, overthrows his intended receiver, Mike McCann, the left end. And Spurrier really had a rush put on him, and he was decked back at midfield by Randall Edmonds and W.J. Blaine. Blaine playing the middle linebacker spot. Edmonds the right linebacker. And so it's a 4th down situation coming up. Spurrier drops back to his own 45. The snap from center. He gets his kick away high, and a fair catch was signaled for to let it roll into the end zone.
The touchback, the ball comes out to the 20.
1st and 10 for Tech on its 20. Wing back in motion, the handoff goes to Lenny Snow, and he is upended at the line of scrimmage and perhaps lost a half a yard. Bill Dorsey, the right guard, made the stop. A little better than 13 and a half minutes to go in the second period, with Tech leading 6-0 by virtue of an 81-yard drive in the first quarter. Rick Nelson is in at right guard, Buddy McCoy at left guard now for Tech. as Kim King directs Lenny Snow. Doc Harper in front of him gives the ball to Lenny Snow, who goes to his right, cuts back, gets across the 20 to the 21 or 2, is upended by a host of blue-shirted Gators, led by Bill Dorsey, and helped out by Bobby Adams, the right tackle.
Both of these ball clubs, Mel, are very active defensively. They follow the ball very well. This time, of course, Tech is trying to run that ball wide to one side, and the defensive unit just following right down that line and making the tackle. Fourth down now for Georgia Tech.
It's a third down situation, actually, Elmer, but they're going to kick off it with 3rd and 8 and Charlie Mason in there, and Larry Rentz deep. The kick is gotten high into the air, over toward the near sideline, and takes Florida bounce back across midfield to the 48-yard line approximately of Georgia Tech. We pause 10 seconds for station identification.
WGY, a General Electric Broadcasting Company station, Schenectady.
Florida's ball 1st and 10 on the 48, and it seems as if the momentum has changed somewhat in favor of Florida, and I believe it would have paid off if Spurrier could hit his receivers.
Well, of course, Spurrier has only completed, 3 of 10 passes at this point. He's had difficulty this evening trying to hit his receivers, pick them out. He's been overthrowing them. He hasn't gotten the nose of that ball down. Of course, in the latter part of the first quarter, he's been rushed very, very hard by a fine defensive unit of the Georgia Tech ball club, applying pressure to him not only from their fine defensive line, but also from the 3 linebackers, Blaine, Edmonds, and Shook, who are blasting in there, not giving him too much time to get rid of that ball.
He's not setting up very well, and he is overshooting his target.
Well, technically speaking, Mel, he's a little bit slow getting back there this evening for some reason or other.
1st and 10 for Florida on the Tech 48, and the handoff goes to Tom Christian, the tailback, who gets it inside the 45. Wages has gone in at quarterback. Harmon Wages in place of Steve Spurrier now. The ball is on the 46-yard line. A gain of 2, making it 2nd and 8. Billy Shore made the tackle. Ray Graves is substituted liberally in here. We'll pick them up for you as play progresses. Homer Wages rolls out, gets a good block, tries to go with the ball. There's a marker down, or not. As he stopped, I think it's just an armband that flew off. He stopped at about the 47-yard line by Alan Glisson, the right end for Georgia Tech. So he lost a yard, making it 3rd and 9.
Well, Wages certainly will give them a change of pace now in there at the quarterbacking position. They haven't been successful throwing the ball, and of course Wages is a better runner than Spurrier, so let's see what he comes up with at his play selection.
Tommy Glenn is flanked out to the right. Christian and Barfield are the setbacks. Wages fires a pass, and it is incomplete at the 40-yard line, knocked down by Giles Smith. It was intended for Mike McCann. 11 minutes and 36 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half. Georgia Tech leading Florida 6-0. And with a 4th and 9 situation coming up, Spurrier comes in to punt. A triple safety set up for Georgia Tech. Jimmy Brown is back there, and Sammy Burke. Now the snap from center, the kick, a nice high beauty, and it's signaled a fair catch. At the 20, the marker is down to 40. I believe it's roughing the kicker because Spurrier went down. A marker back at the 40. A roughing the kicker penalty undoubtedly forthcoming.
And that's a glaring error that time on the part of the Georgia Tech defensive unit. He went in there. You cannot touch the kicker, let alone knock him down. Of course, they hit Spurrier and knocked him flat on his back. The ball will go back to the Florida Gators at this point, which will give them a first down automatically because it's a 15-yard penalty for roughing the kicker. The referee, of course, Pete Williams, is marking the penalty off at this point. Florida now has 6 first downs so far in this evening's ball game against 5 first downs for Georgia Tech. This is another first down, of course. First down for the Gators from the 32-yard line of Georgia Tech. Mel?
Dick Trapp is back in. He's a flanker out to the left. Spurrier is in at quarterback. Ewaldson is back in at the split end. Larry Smith, the first string left half or tailback, is in. And so they set up with Trap wide to the left, the ends in tight, the handoff going to Larry Smith. He gets nowhere. He plowed into the middle of that strong Tech forward wall. Spearheaded by Mike Ashmore, the right tackle. The linebacker's moving in to help out. And in fact, he almost lost a yard on the play. Call it the 33 making it 2nd and 11. And this time Spurrier with Ewaldson out wide to the left and Trap wide to the right. The ball is given to Smith. He finds hole up the middle across the 30 down to the 25-yard line.
It was a very
by Bill Eastman.
Very fine play selection that time, Mel, without interrupting on the part of Spurrier. He's been rushed out there very, very hard. This time he turned the defense a little bit loose and called a fullback delay or a tailback delay that time, handing out to Larry Smith as he retreated to pass. And, of course, Smith picked up a lot of yardage.
Trap out wide to the left on the 3rd and 3. The ball is given to Smith again up the middle. He crosses the 25, gets to about the 24. He needed 3 yards for a first down. He failed to make it. Bill Shore, the left linebacker, made the tackle.
I note the fact, Mel, that John Lagana just went off the field with an injured. It looked to me like it was his right knee injured. He was under his own power with a pair of crutches, however. I doubt very much we'll see much of him the rest of the evening. Of course, Bill Middleton is in there for him, doing an excellent job.
4th down and 2. And Spurrier rolling out to his left, fires a pass, and it is grabbed by Trap and incomplete. He got it out of bounds. He caught the ball with a leaping grab, but he was out of bounds when he came down. So it's a change of possession here on that 4th down play. And there's timeout on the field with the score, Georgia Tech 6, Florida nothing.
This is Brad Crandall, your Sunday Night Monitor host, extending a very special invitation to you to join us on Monitor 67, the new, vibrant, swinging sound of Monitor. Monitor 67 will turn you on, so tune us in this weekend and every weekend on NBC Radio.
Hi there, Henry Morgan here, your Saturday Night Monitor host, inviting you to join me on Monitor 67, the new, vibrant, sparkling sound of radio. Monitor 67 every weekend on NBC Radio.
1st and 10 for Tech, and it's 24 with Kim King directing the team from the eye, and the handoff to Lenny Snow, the tailback, on a straight-ahead drive across the 25 to the 26 or 7-yard line, where he is tackled by Red Anderson. Make it a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 on the 26. Lenny Snow at left half, Doc Harvin at full, Craig Bainham at the wing back, Kim King the quarterback, Mike Fortier, the split end, goes over to the right side, Steve Allman, the tight end, over to the left side, and from a full house or a stacked tee on a reverse, the ball is given to the wing back, coming on a counter play off the right side of the Florida line to the 30s, tackled and falls forward to about the 32-yard line, tackled by Wayne McCall.
Well, that makes it 3rd down and about 1.5 yards for Georgia Tech, and all important down as these 3rd down plays are. Of course, Kim King is hard-pressed to come up with a play this time that's going to give him that 1st down.
We'll watch Kim King now. And he has Snow and Harvin in a slot right and gives the pitch back to Snow, who dives off the left side of the Gator line, trying for the 1st down. It's just short of the 35. And the officials ask for a timeout to measure to see whether or not he picked up the 1st down.
Of course, that's nothing but the old single wing, as we call it, Mel, tailback play off tackle. And, of course, picked up the 1st down there. Very fine play. That's the 6th first down that Georgia Tech has picked up early in this ball game. One thing I must comment on, Mel, at this point is the fact that the Florida Gators have been a slow ball club to start. They've been a great second-half ball club, so possibly we can look forward to that this evening. They haven't done well the first half.
Giles Smith, the tailback, behind Harbin. Bainham out on the wing. The ball goes to Giles Smith, and he finds a hole off the left side, and it's a fumble as he goes across the 35. The fumble around the 37 or 8-yard line, recovered by Georgia Tech. Steve Allman recovered it. Chip Hinton made the tackle for Florida. The ball is spotted on the 36-yard line. A gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Lenny Snow back in for Giles Smith. Doc Harvin at full. Craig Bainham on the wing. Mike Fortier out over on the right side this time. Steve Allman the left. The slot left. And the ball is given to Lenny Snow, who dives over a submarining line just short of the 40 to about the 39. We're with Red Anderson and Bill Dorsey, the two middle guards, two men in the middle of the Florida 6-2 defense, making the stop.
Joel Stevenson goes in now for Mike Fortier, the split end of the Georgia Tech club, and I think he possibly came in with a play from the bench, Mel. Let's see what the call is on third down.
3rd and 5 for Tech on its 39. Joel Stevenson at the split end. And Kim King rolls out now, and instead of passing, he gets blocking, goes across the 40. He's hit and dives for an extra yard or two to about the 41 or 2-yard line. Don Barrett hit him around the ankles.
Of course, he's about 3 yards shy of the first down with 4th down coming up. And I hope I'm correct this time in stating this, Mel. I'm sure that the Georgia Tech ball club will have to kick the ball.
It is a 4th down. 4th and 3. Charlie Mason back to punt, standing on the 25. Grandy back in the deep receiving position. The snap from center. Here's the kick. A nice high floater going down to the 15-yard line. Grandy takes it, but he doesn't get anywhere. He's hit immediately. Beautiful punt coverage by Tech. They had 2, 4, 5, 6 men down covering that punt, with Craig Bainham making the tackle.
Well, the punt had the right arc to it, Mel. The ball was gotten way up in the air. It traveled 44 yards through the air, but it was not only a good distance punt, it was kicked very high to begin with, allowing the defenders to get down under that ball very fast. So the Florida Gators will take over from their own 13-yard line with a first down and 10 yards to go. And, of course, we've got to see if Mr. Steve Spurrier can open this ball game up. If he's in the ball game, I can't see down there now, Mel. Can you? Can you see if Spurrier's in there?
Yes, Steve is in the ball game at quarterback. We have 6 minutes and 9 seconds of playing time remaining in the second period, or first half, with Georgia Tech out in front 6-0 by virtue of an 81-yard drive in the first period and a failure to convert when the snap from center was over the head of the holder, and Bunky Henry, who would have attempted the conversion, had to try and run for it. I'm wondering officially whether or not that counts against his consecutive conversions. I don't think so.
I don't believe it does. The ball
he didn't kick it.
Could have been called. He didn't kick it, so I'm sure that it doesn't count against his conversion tries. Bunky Henry, incidentally, Mel, I understand, is quite a golfer.
Yes, he is. He won the Canadian Amateur Championship. He kicked 32 out of 32 this year, and 73 out of 75, and 48 consecutively. But right now, it is Florida's ball, 1st and 10 on its 13, and Spurrier fires a long pass, and it is grabbed at the 40-yard line by Larry Smith, the tailback. And Steve Spurrier showed his medal there. A beautiful pass to Larry Smith, with Dave Barber, the wrecker, racing over to make the tackle on the speed merchant. Larry Smith moved the ball to the 40-yard line, a 27-yard gain. Six to nothing in favor of Georgia Tech. Spurrier this time pitches now to Larry Smith, coming wide to the near sideline and knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. I had an idea there for a moment that might have been intended as a halfback option.
Well, it looked like it was a halfback option to begin with, Mel, and of course, Larry Smith came back that time, was forced very, very, very deep that time. As a result, in order to try to pick up the yardage, he had to just turn up that field and just pedal back for that line of scrimmage, and he never quite got back to it, actually. The loss of about 7 yards down there.
2nd and 17 on the 33 of Florida. Tom Christian is in at the tailback spot. Spurrier fires a pass, which is incomplete at the 46-yard line of Florida, intended for Dick Trapp, covered by Giles Smith, who almost intercepted it, but he trapped it. He trapped the ball intended for Trapp. So,
that's a punt, son, huh?
Not intended as such. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the first half. 3rd and 17 for Florida on its 33. Tech leading 3-0. Trapp flanks out to the right. Spurrier, the ball fades, fires out on the far sideline, completes it at the 39-yard line. Man is knocked out of bounds, and it was Paul Ewaldson, the left end. Bill Eastman knocked him out. So it brings up a punting situation, 4th and 12 on the 38. Dropping back in safety is Jimmy Brown for Georgia Tech. Spurrier goes back to punt, standing on his 25. There's a 10-man rush now by Georgia Tech. They're going to put a 10-man rush on Spurrier, but he gets the kickoff anyway. And Jimmy Brown takes the ball on the 20, comes laterally, breaks one tackle, twists away from another, and is down on the 21 as 2 more men pile on him. It was Bill Carr, the All-America center, and Jim Benson, a very fine guard for Florida, on a 42-yard kick. The ball is spotted actually on the 20. His body got to the 21, but the ball didn't. Now Kim King directing the Yellow Jackets from Atlanta, with Lenny Snow, the tailback, Doc Harbin, the fullback, and Lenny Snow is carrying, finds a hole as he cut back off the left side of the Gator line for short yardage, stopped by Bill Dorsey. The ball is put down on the 24-yard line. 2nd and 6 for Georgia Tech. 5 minutes left to go in the first half, and Tech leading 6-0. Snow and Harbin are the setbacks, and Bainham, the wingback. Mike Fortier, the left end, goes wide to the right. Almond goes over to the other side. Bainham is on the right wing, or a slot back if you choose. And the handoff goes to fullback Doc Harbin, who doesn't carry the ball too often, but he drives off the right side of the Gator line across the 25 to about the 26, where Don Barrett and Brian Jetter, the right end and right tackle respectively for Florida, stopped him. The nose of the ball is just about the 27. Let's make it 3rd and 3.
And again, Mel, that all-important 3rd down.
And it is Lenny Snow, the All-American tailback, who drives up to the 30 and then is hurled back. As he came very close to that first down, he had to get to the 30. Whether he actually got there or not is a decision the officials will have to make by measurement as they take a timeout. Steve Height, the right linebacker, made the stop. Here comes the chain gang out. They measure, and the signal is first down, Georgia Tech.
Any part of the ball is the ruling, and of course the ball was just over there for the 7th first down of Georgia Tech, of course, against 7 first downs for the Florida Gators. So it's 1st and 10 for Georgia Tech from their own 30-yard line.
Joel Stevenson splits out wide to the right on an I formation with Bainham on the left wing, and the handoff goes to Snow. The tailback goes to the 35-yard line. And they say there's a marker down, too. They say that his knee touched the ground at the 34. There's a marker down on the play.
There's a clip down in the field, Mel, called against Bill Moore, the offensive left tackle of the Georgia Tech ball club, that clipped, actually, Steve Height, number 41, of the Florida Gators. So the option, of course, is up to the Gators to either take the penalty or refuse it. It's a 15-yard penalty. I'm certain they will take it, as they did, as the referee, Pete Williams, marks off the penalty against the Georgia Tech ball club. So the Yellow Jackets are pushed back down to the 19-yard line now, their own 19, that is, where it'll be 2nd down and about let's call it 21 yards for a first down for the Georgia Tech ball club as they break the huddle. Mel?
The penalty is stepped off in the spot of the foul there. So it is 2nd and 21 on the 19. And this time, a keeper by Kim King. He's across the 20 and dropped on the 21-yard line. Brian Jetter made the stop, helped out by Bill Dorsey. And now Charlie Mason will go in. Even though it's a third down situation, Tech often will kick on third down. George Grandy drops back for Florida. Mason back to the 5-yard line. Tech leading 6-0 with 3 minutes remaining to be played in the first half. Awaiting the snap from center. There it is, a low snap, but the kick has gotten away. Booming line drive type kick, bounces on the 40, twists around, and the ball is covered by Georgia Tech on the 33-yard line of Florida. A 46-yard kick. Terry Story covered the ball. Tech leading 6-0, 2 minutes and 59 seconds left in the second period. If you tuned in late, Tech scored in the first period on an 81-yard drive. They failed to convert. And so that's where we stand with time showing on the clock, 2 minutes and 59 seconds. In the Sugar Bowl game today, Alabama beat Nebraska 34-7, and in the Rose Bowl, Purdue beat Southern California 14-13. And right now, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification.
WGY, a General Electric Broadcasting Company station, Schenectady.
Florida's ball, 1st and 10 on its 33. Steve Spurrier with Larry Smith and Graham McKeel in behind him. And a flanker trap out wide to the left. A quick pass to him is overthrown. Spurrier is still overthrowing for the most part. He's hurrying his tosses, not setting up. And Tech now makes a substitution in the secondary. Bill Kennard going in. On past situations, they like to put in 5 backs. Coons is in for Yarborough at tight end. Spurrier drops back, fires the pass, and completes it to Coons, and he drives upfield past midfield into Tech territory at the 47-yard line. Stopped by Burke and Barber.
Even with 5 defensive backs in there that time, Mel, Spurrier managed to pick out Jack Coons on a down-and-in pattern from a tight end position.
This time in a double wing setup. Spurrier being chased, and now he runs for it and gets back to the 46-yard line. Tech's putting on quite a rush. And at this point, Florida asks for a timeout, stopping the clock at 2 minutes and 22 seconds of playing time remaining in the second period, and Tech out in front. There's timeout on the field with the score, Tech 6, Florida nothing.
Hi, this is Bill Cullen. NBC Radio is 10 ways better weekdays in 1967. 10 ways, beginning with
Chet Huntley, emphasis, plain talk.
This is Barbara Walters, emphasis, what's new?
This is Sander Van Oker, emphasis, point of view.
This is Dr. Joyce Brothers, emphasis, mind over matter.
This is Merrill Muller, NBC News New York with Emphasis Newsbeat.
This is Carl Stern, emphasis, point of view. Law Beat.
Bill Davidson with emphasis, point of view.
This is Edwin Newman, NBC News New York, emphasis, Critic East.
This is Tom Pettit, NBC News Los Angeles, emphasis, Critic West.
And this is Bill Cullen, emphasis, time off. Emphasis, weekdays on NBC.
Spurrier fires a pass out into the far flat to Jack Coons and completes it at the 35-yard line. And a first down for Florida as play is resumed with 2 minutes and 16 seconds of playing time left in the second period.
Of course, Spurrier is starting to pick out his pattern now. He's getting back a little bit faster than he was before. He's picking out his receiver down the field. That time was a little drag pattern to Jack Coons after the wingback trap had cleared.
From a double wing setup, Spurrier rolls out to his right looking for Trapp. He finds him, and Trapp is hit at the 28-yard line and driven back. Haven Kicklighter made the tackle, and a timeout is called for by Florida. Referee Pete Williams spots the ball down on the 30. As Trapp tried to belly back to get some running room and didn't succeed and was belted down by Haven Kicklighter. So the clock is stopped with this timeout called by Florida. 2 minutes and 6 seconds of playing time left in the first half, and Georgia Tech leading 6-0. And here now is Elmer Angsman.
Well, the Gators starting to march now with Spurrier finally late in the second quarter, starting to hit his receivers. He's changed his offensive pattern entirely out here. Instead of trying to hit the swing man from the running back position, he's getting back there very quickly this time, picking out his first receiver, his single receiver, and just trying to get that ball to him. He hit Coons twice in this drive for good gains, and of course this last time hit Richard Trapp, his flanker receiver, on the right side. Of course now it's second down and about 5.
And the ball comes back to Graham McKeel going wide to his left, cuts back, gets up to the 25-yard line. He's stopped by Bill Eastman.
There's the first down.
He made the first down, and the clock is running 1 minute and 50 seconds, and on it runs, and a substitution is about to be made. One man started on, two coming off. I don't know how many men they got on the field, and Tech calls time, but Spurrier started to play, and there was an odd situation. Tech did not have, one man was going on, two was coming off. That meant they had 10 men on the field, and I saw a Tech man suddenly call time, but Spurrier had already taken the ball. And to me, I believe that he should have been allowed to complete his play, Elmer.
Well, Mel, it all depends upon who gets to the referee first to call the timeout. And that time, the timeout, of course, is charged to the Georgia Tech Ball Club. Because they were light, it's tough enough playing football with 11 men on the field, let alone playing with 10. And, of course, Georgia Tech found themselves in a situation where on a passing situation, they're trying to fill in there with 5 defensive backs. They know with only 1 minute and 38 seconds remaining in the first half that Spurrier is going to throw that ball, so they want to get the best defensive protection they can in there, Mel. They're getting 5 defensive backs who are all playing deep. They're allowing the short pass, but not the long one, they hope.
Jim Gibson was in. He's out. Mike Ashmore is in at tackle. I saw Bill Carr talking to the official about that call, by the way. Now time is back in. Ewaldson split out to the left, Trapp wide to the right. Spurrier with the ball, fires a pass, and it is complete at the 15-yard line to his wide end, Paul Ewaldson, on a look-in pattern. And Florida calls a timeout, stopping the clock with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go in the second period or first half, and Tech leading 6-0. You're allowed 4 times out per half in college football, and I know of 3 now that Florida has called. They have 1 timeout left to them without
Spurrier, of course, as I mentioned before, Mel, has changed his offensive pattern now. So let's see what he calls now on a first down situation from the 15-yard line of Georgia Tech.
He's got Ewaldson out to the left and Trapp out wide to the right. He comes with the ball, and he's running with it. He's to the 10, he's to the 5, and he's upended on the 3-yard line by Dave Barber, the wrecker. Steve Spurrier rolled out to his right. He saw plenty of daylight, and he ran for it. And he got down to the 2-yard line. The 12th first down for Florida. And 1 minute and 8 seconds, 1 minute and 7 seconds. And they line up very quickly, and Spurrier asks the crowd to keep quiet. 1 minute and 2 seconds. He barks his signal. He may be calling an audible. A goal line defense against him. They give it the ball to Larry Smith. He drives up close to the goal line, got to about the 1.5 yard mark where he is stopped by Kicklighter and Middleton. 43 seconds, 42 seconds. Trapp goes out wide to the left. Ewaldson to the right. And the ball is given to McKeel. He dives right up close to the goal line. Does not get there. And Florida asks for its 4th timeout, stopping the clock with 32 seconds left in the first half. How about this situation? W.J. Blaine, the middle linebacker, made the stop as Tech leads 6-0. And Florida is just half the length of the football away from the last line.
It was a very fine play that time on the part of Graham McKeel. The hole was closed up completely. As he approached the line of scrimmage, he leaped up into the air trying to dive over the pile. He almost succeeded. However, a very fine tackle that time on the part of W.J. Blaine, the linebacker of the Georgia Tech Ball Club. Stopped him in midair, actually, and drove him to the ground. So as a result, the Florida Gators have a half yard to go for a first down with 32 seconds remaining in the first half of the ball game, and they must get this ball over that goal line in order to score. Let's see what they do now. Spurrier brings him up the line of scrimmage.
Against the 6-5 goal line stacked defense, it's McKeel diving over for the touchdown. Holding, and the try for the point. It's up, and it is good. Wayne Barfield puts Florida out in front, 7-6, with Larry Rentz holding. Wayne Barfield kicked the extra point, and Florida leads 7-6, and the clock shows 30 seconds left in the first half, in a dramatic first half finish. And so now the Gators will kick off. They went 67 yards, and as I look back for a moment, Elmer, that clipping penalty in there really cost Tech.
Certainly did. It gave not only a first down, but 15 yards on top of everything, bringing the Florida Gators down into a position where they were starting to call a different formation entirely on their pass patterns, and Spurrier has started to hit.
Don Barrett kicking off a squib-type kick. It bounces on the 10. It's taken by Jim Sias. It comes back up to the 20, 25, and knocked out of bounds as he got across the 30 to the 35 by Eddie Foster. And the ball is put down on the 36-yard line, and as he went out of bounds, of course, that stopped the clock at 24 seconds. Left in the first half, Florida leading 7-6. Snow and Harvin are deep. Bainham out on the wing. Mike Fortier splits left. Kim King fades back. He's going to throw a bomb. It's deep downfield, and it is overthrown at the 20-yard line. It was intended for Craig Bainham, who runs the 109.8, by the way. Bobby Downs was down there covering him. "16 seconds left. The clock stopped with the overthrown pass.
That ball traveled 55 yards in the air, Mel.
Joel Stevenson splits out to the left. Bainham out wide to the right. Kim King comes back. He throws. It's incomplete. Intended for Joel Stevenson. Almost intercepted by George Grandy, who had gotten in front of him. Larry Rentz was in behind him, so they had one defender in front. That was Grandy. Rentz behind him. That was the situation. And Stevenson in the middle. The clock has stopped. 11 seconds to go in the first half. Florida leading 7-6, coming from behind. Tech scored in the first period. Now Johnny Sias is in at the wingback spot. He's out wide to the right. Stevenson wide to the left. Kim King drops back. Decides to run, but he's caught from behind and dropped at the 30. And the clock is running, and Tech asks for time, and the clock is stopped with 3 seconds left in the first half. Don Giordano, who made 86 tackles during the season for Florida, made that tackle, and it was good pursuit on his part because he came from his left tackle position around in behind and caught him.
Excellent pursuit. Actually, one thing that you try to get out of a defensive ball player is to play through his position. Of course, after he sees where the ball is, to go to that ball, whether the ball be downfield or behind the line of scrimmage, as it was in that case. The pursuit is one of the main efforts of a defensive lineman. If he hasn't got good pursuit, he can't play in that defensive line.
Johnny Sias, another fast man. Joel Stevenson goes out wide to the right. Sias runs 109.9. Kim King with the ball. Now he hands it off to Sias on a Statue of Liberty. He goes wide to the right to the 35, to the 40, and down he goes as time runs out. That's the end of the first half as the tackle is made by Bill Dorsey. For the score, Florida 7, Georgia Tech 6. How about it? At the Orange Bowl, where Elmer Angsman and I, Mel Allen, along with our spotters, by the way, Joe Zoss and Toby Ross, and that's not an act. Ross and Zoss, though, have been doing a very fine act for us. Joe Zoss from Atlanta and Toby Ross from Miami. All of us have been tremendously excited by this first half action with Georgia Tech going 81 yards in the first quarter, and then Florida coming back to go 67 to tie it and then kick the extra point. A bad snap from center forced Bunky Henry to try to run with the ball for what then would have amounted to 2 points, but he failed just by about a half yard. Right now the Georgia Tech band is on field entertaining. Let's pick up the Yellow Jacket band. The parade gets where I am, the band stops playing. In the Sugar Bowl today, Alabama beat Nebraska 34-7. In the Rose Bowl, Purdue beat USC 14-13. We're ready for the second half kickoff here in the Orange Bowl. Florida leads Georgia Tech 7-6. Florida will kick off. Adams will do the booting. Eastman, Brown, and Sias, the deep men for Georgia Tech. We await the whistle, and here we go. There's a nice kick going down to the 12-yard line taken by Bill Eastman, and he's coming back across the 20 to 25, hit and dropped inside the 30 by Bill Gaisford. And Georgia Tech will put the ball in play. Tech took the lead in the first quarter on an 81-yard drive, failed to convert. Snap from center was high. Florida scored just before the end of the half, and Barfield converted, and so Florida leads 7-6. And with a 1st and 10 on the 27 of Georgia Tech, Kim King at quarterback has Lenny Snow, his tailback, but fades to pass, has plenty of time, throws, has his man out there, but he can't get it at the 45-yard line of Florida. It was Mike Fortier. He had one hand on the ball. The defender, George Grandy, allowed the potential receiver to get in behind him. He got one hand on the ball. but couldn't hang on to it. That would have been an out-of-this-world catch, one in keeping with the halftime show. 2nd and 10 now for Georgia Tech on its 27. Kim King at quarterback, Lenny Snow at left half, Doc Harvin at full, Craig Bainham wing back out wide to the right as a flanker. He's going deep downfield. A bomb is being thrown. He can't get it. That's the 35-yard line. And racing downfield with him was Bobby Downs. So the man who runs the 109.8 could not get under that one because it was overthrown. That ball went through the air a good 50 yards or better. So it is 3rd and 10 coming up for Georgia Tech on its 27. Along the line, 40 or more, McCoy, Breland, Nelson, Wright, and Allman for Georgia Tech. King at quarter, Snow and Bainham at the halves, and Harbin at full. Now we've got Johnny Size flanking out wide to the right, and he's going deep downfield, but they throw. Instead, it's intercepted at the 40 by Bobby Downs. The throw was short. He intercepted it at the 40 of Georgia Tech and came back to the 35-yard line. Steve Allman made the tackle.
Mel, I made a mistake before and did not mention the fact that Kim King on the play before has been hit extremely hard by Don Giordano, the left defensive tackle of the Gators. As a result, he was a little bit slow in getting that ball off and threw short. As a result, it was intercepted.
Steve Spurrier directing the Gators now, fades for a pass. He's got Trapp out there, and Trapp fights for the ball, can't get it. It's knocked down by Haven Kicklighter, defensive left halfback. 2nd down and 10 for Florida on the Georgia Tech 35. And Tech now is making a substitution. David Barber is going in. Barber going in at the wrecker spot, or the roaming linebacker. Spurrier with a flanker out to the right gives the handoff to Graham McKeel, the fullback, who drives inside the 30 to about the 31-yard line, stopped by Billy Shore. Florida had 12 first downs in the first half. Georgia Tech 7, had 105 yards net gain rushing to 92 for Tech. So with 3rd and 6, Trapp flanks out wide to the right. He tries a cutback pattern. The pass is thrown, and it is incomplete at the 25. Or did he complete it? Jim Yarborough dove for the ball at that point. I believe a marker was thrown. A marker was thrown, and we'll see what the official calls it as he steps off the penalty against Florida. Illegal procedure against the Gators. That covers a multitude of sins.
Well, generally speaking, Mel, it's a backfield man in motion or a lineman in motion when they call an illegal procedure penalty. That time, I believe it was the flanker, Richard Trapp, that went in motion. Of course, they were trying to hit Yarborough behind him on a drag pattern. So with a 3rd down situation, another big play, Spurrier takes over and receives.
And Spurrier throws a pass that's incomplete. He was hit hard and knocked down at the 45-yard line by Tommy Carlisle. And he actually had his arm hit.
He's got a 4th and 11 situation now, Mel. It's a tough position without a field goal kicker. They may punt the ball. Yes, Spurrier drops back in a punting position. He'll be punting from his own 49 or 50, maybe from the 47-yard line.
He gets the snap. He gets the kick high in the air. Sammy Burke waiting for it, and he lets it hit, and Florida will down it inside the 5. It takes a reverse twist and comes to rest on the 6-yard line. It'll be Tech's ball, 1st and 10 on the 6.
The leading rusher, Mel, in the first half was Lenny Snow. With 15 tries, he gained 78 yards, as against Larry Smith, 48 yards and 13 tries.
Florida leading Georgia Tech 7-6. Lenny Snow is at the tailback spot. Doc Harvin at full, Kim King at quarter, and Craig Bainham at the wingback. Fortier and Allman at the ends. Muller and right at the tackles, McCoy and Nelson at the guards, and Breland at center. Jim Breland, co-captain and All-America, who, by the way, went to Navy. And then, after playing 1 year at Navy, transferred to Georgia Tech, sat out a year, and he has been in 3 different bowls in his 3 different varsity seasons of play.
Now, many years ago, I played against this Georgia Tech ball club when I was with Notre Dame. I played against them in 1943, 44, and 45. They were always a very tough ball club under Alexander, and of course, Bobby Dodd was his assistant, and he hasn't changed a bit.
Lenny Snow pitches to, or rather, Lenny Snow takes the pitch from King. King comes off the left side of the Gator line for very short yardage, where he is stopped by Red Anderson. Jack Card, the little linebacker, who is a real Card, he's just 158 pounds. They try to run at him, but boy, he can hit for a little guy.
You got to be a tiger to play a linebacker position at 158 pounds, I'll tell you that much.
2nd and 9 on the 7, and out of the eye, a flanker to the left and an end split right. The carry moves across the 10 with Lenny Snow lugging the leather and gets to about the 11 or 12 yard line where Steve Height, the right linebacker, and Don Giordano, the left tackle for Florida, stopping. Both coaches are substituting very, very frequently. Our spotters are working feverishly up here, and working feverishly in the Florida heat and something else again. So it is a 3rd down and 4, and they're going to punt. George Grandy in his end zone, Charlie Mason in the end zone, takes a snap from center. Grandy is back, and the kick is partially blocked. It's a short kick, bouncing on the 30, takes a tech bounce, though, and goes out of bounds at about the 40. I think a hand touched that ball.
It looked to me like a hand did touch that ball. I did not get the defender that piled in that time in an attempt to block Mason's punt. However, the ball deflected straight up in the air, and as a result, the Georgia Tech ball club ends up with a 28-yard punt.
It was Steve Height, as Charlie tells us, who got his hand on the ball, Elmer.
That's a rushing linebacker there, Mel. It's pouring right in.
So it's 1st and 10 on the 41 of Tech. Florida's ball. Steve Spurrier hands off now to Larry Smith, and on a slant, he gets close to the 30-yard line. He was stopped by W.J. Blaine, the middle linebacker. The ball's on the 31. 2nd down, 6. Make it the 36, rather. 2nd down and 6 to go on the 36. Florida leading Georgia Tech 7-6. We're in the 3rd period. 11 minutes of playing time remaining. Steve Spurrier, the flanker out wide to the right. Hands off the fullback, Graham McKeel, who on a quick hitter is stopped at about the 35-yard line by W.J. Blaine and Bill Middleton.
Spurrier keeps changing his offensive pattern out here. This time he went to a double wing situation with Trapp out to one side and Ewaldson out to the other side with Smith and Yarbrough in there as the receivers on both sides of the field, and of course he ran Graham McKeel off tackle that time on a trap play.
This time Spurrier fades, fires a pass, and it's incomplete at the 28-yard line. It was intended for Paul Ewaldson. A sideline pattern. He was covered there nicely by Bill Eastman.
Spurrier looks over to the sidelines at this point to his coach, Ray Graves, and he asked him if he could try to kick it. And, of course, Graves signaled to him to punt.
It's 4th and 5 on the 35. Sammy Burton, single safety for Tech. And the ball is kicked high, not attempted to kick it too deep. They let it bounce again. It takes a good twist along the 6 or 7 yard line and comes to rest at that point.
Oddly enough, Georgia Tech is going to have to take over at about the same spot that they had to take over before. Spurrier is very accurate. In a short kick, he lifted that ball up into the air and let it bounce down there around the 10-yard line. Kicked it high enough to get his team down under that ball so the ball could not be carried back. 1st and 10 for Georgia Tech from their own 7-yard line.
The attendance is over 72,000, if I heard the figures of the PA correctly, 72,476. Lenny Snow is the tailback. He takes the handoff, comes straight up the middle across the 10 to the 11-yard line, piled up, as Kim King handed it off to him, and Doc Harvin led the way through the hole, opened up by the lineman, and Jack Card, the left linebacker, made the tackle. And he wears the number 1. He's going off the field now, and replaced by Wayne McCall. It is 2nd down and 5. The ball's on the 12. Mike Fortier is on the right side, and Steve Allman is on the left and split out, and Lenny Snow carries on a slant and gets nowhere. Might have gotten a yard, as the right side of the Gator line proving to be very formidable, and 2 Tech men are going into the game now. One is an end, Joel Stevenson. He will replace Mike Fortier. And the other is Terry Story, who is replacing Buddy McCoy at an interior line position. Rentz is going out for Florida. We'll pick up, I think it's Tom Hungerbuehler who is replacing him. Kim King on a keeper this time finds a hole that suddenly closed as he goes inside the 20 to about the 18. But he did make the first down. It looked for a moment as if he might spring loose for a long yardage yet. It is the 8th first down for Georgia Tech. 1st and 10 now on the 18. And Kim King directing the team from the eye with the wing back left. And again, Lenny Snow carries on a slant and dives to the 20. They're really running him ragged.
He's a workhorse out there all right, Mel. Of course, did a pretty good job all year long for them, carrying the ball 202 times in 10 games. That's about, quick mathematically, about 20 carries a ball game.
Brian Jeter, the right tackle, made the stop for Florida. Steve Allman, the right end, is wide to the right. Joel Stevenson splits out wide to the left. The slot back right, and again, Lenny Snow finds a hole up the middle, tries to cut back, gets up to the 25-yard line, where he's stopped by Don Giordano, the 6'1", 221-pound left tackle. He's the fellow we told you about that made 86 tackles during the season, a very much underrated football player. So it is a 3rd and 3 situation with Craig Bainham, the wingback, out wide to the right, Joel Stevenson out wide to the left, and the play goes up the middle with Kim King on a keeper, stopped by Don Giordano, trying to go for the first down of the 3rd and 3 situation. And the officials are going to call for a measurement.
Defensive unit of the Florida Gators are very active. They slide along the line of scrimmage with the ball. That's why the Georgia Tech Ball Club has run a couple of reverse plays. They're about a foot short of the first down. So that'll bring a 4th down situation up here for the Georgia Tech Ball Club. They've gotten the signal from Bobby Dodd to go for it.
They're going to go for it. It's 4th down and 1 on the 28. So we'll watch Snow and Harvin. And the tight wing-back right. And it's a keeper by King, and he dives in there with a forward wall on a wedge play, and they all pile up as the Gators tried to submarine, and the linebackers coming in, driving straight up. And it's a first down for Georgia Tech. The gamble, it paid off. It paid off for Florida in the second period when they scored.
Certainly did. Well, it's an odd situation here. You find Bobby Dodd on occasion kicking on 3rd down, this time deep in his own territory. The ball on the 28-yard line. He went a foot for the first down. So it's 1st and 10 for Georgia from the 29-yard line.
Now we've got men wide left and right, but the ball goes to Lenny Snow, and he runs into a stone wall at the 30-yard line, starting from the line of scrimmage at the 29, stopped by Don Giordano. So we got a yard. 2nd and 9 on the 30. Remember, Tech started with the ball in their 7. 6 minutes left in the 3rd period. Florida leading Georgia Tech 7-6. Mike Fortier, the left end, lines up wide to the right. Greg Bainham, the slot right. The keeper by Kim King gets a block from Snow, goes to the outside and drives across the 30 and almost out of bounds inside the 35 with George Grandy and Don Barrett collaborating on the tackle for Florida.
Well, King has changed his offensive pattern entirely out here this time. This time he rolled to the weak side and carried the ball wide. It was no fake to it or anything else. He just rolled and tried to pick up some yardage in order to get that first down. Now with a third down and about 6 situations, he called for a timeout.
And while there's timeout on the field with the score, Florida 7, Georgia Tech 6.
This is Henry Morgan, your Saturday Night Monitor host, inviting you to join me on Monitor 67. Monitor 67, the new, vibrant, sparkling sound of radio. Monitor 67 on NBC Radio. Monitor 67 every weekend.
With 5 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time remaining in the third period, Florida leading by a score of 7-6. Georgia Tech's ball, third down, 6 to go on their own 33. Steve Allman comes out wide to the right. Kim King with the ball. The southpaw passer throws incomplete. It was a lead pass intended for Lenny Snow. He came out to the near flat at about the 35-yard line. So that sets up a punting situation.
Mason goes in to replace King, of course. He's the punter of the Georgia Tech Ball Club. His average this year has been 39.4 yards. He drops back to his 17-yard line in order to punt this ball on a fourth down situation for Georgia Tech.
George Grandy is the single safety. Now the punt. It goes down to Grandy. He's taking it on the 31. He comes up to the 35, fights his way to about the 37-8-yard line, stopped by Lenny Snow. First and 10 for Florida on the 37, and the ball is carried by Larry Smith as he gets to the 40-yard line and falls forward to the 41. Mike Ashmore made the tackle. 4 minutes and 50 seconds of playing time remaining in the third period. Ball on the 41-yard line, second down, 6 to go for Florida. Dick Trapp, flanker left. The end's tight. Graham McKeel takes the ball, breaks it out into the clear momentarily past midfield and down to the 45-yard line. On a scissors pattern on a fake handoff to Larry Smith. Coming to the left, he gave it to the fullback, Graham McKeel, going right. Moving to the 45-yard line, tackled by Mike Ashmore. A first down for Florida. From the eye, and Trapp flanking wide to the left. The ball is carried by Larry Smith, and he gets inside the 40. He's stopped by Tommy Carlisle. The ball's on the 42-yard line. 3 minutes and 55 seconds left in the third period. Second down and 7. Florida leading 7-6. All the scoring in the first half. Tech in the first quarter, Florida in the second period. And now the handoff goes to the fullback, McKeel. Graham McKeel straight ahead. after Larry Smith had gone in motion to the left. Stopped by Giles Smith, the wrecker. A substitute now in the Florida backfield.
That was Jack Coons that came in, Mel, at the tight end position, number 83. He came in with a play from the bench from Ray Graves. Now, let's see what the call is by Spurrier.
Trap flanks out to the right. Spurrier comes back. There's a marker on the play. The pass is thrown completed at the 40 to Larry Smith, but a marker was thrown on the play as it was developing illegal procedure against Florida. David Barber, the wrecker, made the tackle. Bill Carr is inquiring of Pete Williams about the illegal procedure. Referee Pete Williams picks the ball up and proceeds then to step off 5 yards against the Gators. Jack Coons came in to replace Jim Yarborough at the tight end spot. It is 3rd down and 10. The ball on the 45. 3 minutes and 6 seconds of playing time remaining in the 3rd period. Florida leading 7-6. Dick Trapp goes out wide to the right. Jack Coons goes out wide to the left. And the fake handoff now to Larry Smith. And the long pass, the ball is fumbled on a pass attempt and recovered by Georgia Tech at the 46-yard line. Bill Middleton. So that's a break for Tech here, as once again they pour the pressure on Spurrier. And Tech has the ball on their 46-yard line. Right now we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification.
WGY, a General Electric Broadcasting Company station, Schenectady.
Georgia Tech in possession, 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. Florida out in front 7-6 with 2 minutes and 59 seconds of playing time remaining in the 3rd period. Tech went 81 yards to score in the 1st period, failed to convert as a result of a bad snap from center. Florida went 67 with McKeel going the last yard. Barfield converted right near the end of the 2nd period with just seconds left, and that's the way it's been. A scoreless 3rd period. Right now, Georgia Tech 1st and 10 in its own 46. Craig Bainham flanks out to the left. Mike Fortier on the right side. Lenny Snow in behind Weaver. Kim King with the ball, keeps it, sees a hole, gets across the 50, and goes inside the 45, or outside the 45. George Grandy making the stop. Going into Florida territory to the Florida 47-yard line.
Good play call that time, Mel, on the part of Kim King. As he went wide, the defensive right end, Don Barrett, backpedaled out there and went wide, turning the play in. He just took it under his arm and kept going down the field.
Fortier out to the right on a slot right. And Kim King with the ball following John Weaver, fullback blocking, and he is upended across the 45 on a resounding tackle by Don Barrett, the right end. He managed to pick up the 1st down. A tremendous jolting tackle. The 10th 1st down for Georgia Tech. And now Terry Story goes in, replacing Lamar Wright at tackle for Tech. Mike Fortier comes out wide to the right, slot back right. Kim King fades back, fires a long pass downfield, and it is intercepted by Florida at the 6-yard line. Intended for Fortier, and Bobby Downs leaped up there and intercepted it. 3 interceptions for him. There were 3 men and went high up for the ball, 2 defenders and the intended receiver, Fortier, and they all hit the ground. We had to wait for the official to indicate whether it was a catch or not.
We couldn't find out really who had the ball, but it was Bobby Downs, the man of the hour again. He's playing excellent defensive football out there. There were 3 men down there covering Mike Fortier, and of course he came up with the ball.
1st and 10 for Florida on the 6. Spurrier gives the ball off now to Smith. He breaks out in the open. He's to the 30, to the 40. He's fast. He's going to go all the way. He's to the 20, 15, 10, 5, into the end zone. Touchdown for Larry Smith. A 94-yard run by Larry Smith, the sophomore of the year in the Southeastern Conference. The fastest man on the Florida team found a hole on the left side of the tech line, broke into the open on a quick opener, went 94 yards. Now the try for the point by Barfield. The kick is up, and it's off to the left. No good. There's a marker on the play. Tech was offside, I believe. Wait just a moment. There's a marker on the play anyway. We'll wait the official signal. Florida leading now 13-6 on that 94-yard gallop by Larry Smith.
Here comes Pete Williams with the signal, Mel. Tripping call.
So once again, the try for the point. Larry Rentz holding, Wayne Barfield kicking. The snap, the boot, it is up, and it is good. The score, Florida 14, Georgia Tech 6. An explosive breakaway run by Larry Smith, who was named the sophomore of the year in the tough Southeastern Conference, and obviously named to the first team of the SEC. He's a comer, 6'4", 216-pounder, and runs with all the speed in the world that you could possibly imagine, outside of a dash man in the Olympics. Adams will kick off for Florida, and his boot is up. And Jimmy Brown takes it on the 5 to the 10 to the 15. He's to the 20, cutting the sidelines, and goes just short of the 30 over the far side of the field. Bobby Adams, the man who did the kicking, made the tackle. A good run back by Jimmy Brown. And so the ball now is on the 27-yard line of Georgia Tech. First down, Florida leading 14-6, and Kim King with Snow and Harvin behind him. Harvin in front of Snow, Bainham on the wing, and a slot formation. The ball is given to Snow. He almost breaks into the clear, across the 35, and down to the 38-yard line, where Larry Rentz, the safety man, brought him down. We almost had a replica of the other run there.
Another one, just what one man actually, Mel, stopped Snow that time from popping loose and breaking away unofficially. Smith now is 145 yards unofficially now for the evening.
Second down and 1 on the 37. The wing back in motion. The handoff as a marker is thrown, with Lenny Snow carrying and driving to the 40. Penalty will be stepped off against the Gators. They were offside on the play. Georgia Tech gets a first down, their 11th. The ball's on the 43. Mike Fortier goes out to the left. Bainham on the left wing. Kim King calling the play, gives it to Snow. Weaver blocking for him. Snow trying to go to the outside, gets to the 45-yard line, where he's driven down by Steve Height, the right linebacker. A 2-yard gain, making it 2nd and 8. And with that play, the period has come to an end. That's the end of the third quarter with a score of Florida 14, Georgia Tech 6.
This is Ray Scherer, NBC News White House correspondent. My NBC News microphone usually is located in a booth near the presidential office at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Not always, though. Like the chief executive himself, the White House correspondent often is on the move, aboard a 600-mile-an-hour jet spanning continents, or chugging slowly on a boat on a Texas lake, cruising in a motorcade through crowds of cheering onlookers, or cloistered quietly in a rustic retreat in the Maryland mountains. But wherever I go, an NBC microphone goes with me, poised to capture the words of the leader of the Western world and the personalities who are with him. A White House correspondent lives with his job 24 hours a day. He must be ready at any moment of day or night to convey to the world events which in a flash could change the course of history. Your link to that world is an NBC microphone. It is as close to you as this setting on your radio dial.
As we begin the fourth quarter with Florida leading Georgia Tech 14-6, Pete Williams has spotted the ball on the 44, almost the 45, so it's about 2nd and 9. George Dean is in for Florida. Rex Richters is in at left end. Dean at right guard. Lamar Melvin is in at tight end for Tech, and Giles Smith has gone into the tailback spot. So Tech on offense in the backfield. Kim King at quarterback. Giles Smith at the tailback spot. They want to give Lenny Snow a rest. John Weaver is in at fullback, and Craig Bainham at wingback. Along the line, Fortier, Moore, McCoy, Breland, Nelson, Wright, and Melvin. And so Tech is ready with 2nd and 9 on their own 44, and from an I formation, Kim King on a keeper running laterally, runs into 2 Gators before he can get to the 50-yard line. Bobby Downs was the first one to hit him, and George Vandy helped out. The ball will be put down at about the 48-yard line. A gain of 4, making it 3rd and 5 for Georgia Tech at that point.
Bobby Downs, Winter Haven boys, playing an excellent game out here, Mel. He came up very quickly that time to stop that play with Kim King carrying on a keeper.
Now slot left, Stevenson wide left. Kim King throws, completes his pass at midfield to Giles Smith. And Smith runs into Gator territory and out of bounds at the 44-yard line, tackled by Steve Height. And it's a first down for Georgia Tech as the Rambling Wreck is on the march now. They spot the ball on the 43. A 9-yard gain on that pass into the flat. Craig Bainham goes out wide to the right. Joel Stevenson flanks out to the left. Weaver in front of Snow. Kim King, or in front of Smith, rather. Giles Smith, the tailback. And he takes the ball and drives off the left side of the Florida line across the 40 to the 39, tackled by Rex Richters. Got a 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6 for Georgia Tech. They are moving inexorably now from their own 27 to the 39 of Florida. Joel Stevenson flanks out to the left. Bainham is on the left wing. Smith and Weaver, and there goes Kim King pitching now to Bainham on a wingback reverse, and he fumbles at the 40, and Florida recovers. Wayne McCall recovered the ball. So that stops a Tech drive. And Florida takes over, 1st and 10. The ball spotted on their own 40-yard line. Dick Trapp comes out wide to the right. Paul Ewaldson's out to the left. Steve Spurrier calling his play with Smith and McKeel in a split backfield setup. And the handoff goes to Larry Smith. He finds a hole, bursts quickly into it, and is stopped as he crosses the 45, gets to the 47.
Spurrier ran a trap play that time with Larry Smith carrying the ball. He found a little bit of a hole. However, he's gimping back to the huddle. He's got a game right leg as he trapped off the field, and the substitute, Tom Christian, comes in for him. Great hand for Larry Smith as he goes off the field to the sideline.
Sammy Burke made the tackle on the last play. Don Knapp replaces Larry Smith at the tailback spot. The handoff goes to Don Knapp. He tries to cut up the middle, gets just short of the 50-yard line, stopped by Giles Smith. In fact, his knee touched at the 48-yard line. So it's a yard pickup, 3rd and 2 on the 48 of Florida. The Gators in possession. Trapp comes out wide to the right. Ewalson to the left. Both ends are tight in the I formation. The keeper by Spurrier. He throws a running pass and completes it to Yarborough. He's to the 30, to the 25, and down on the 23. W.J. Blaine made the tackle. Jim Yarborough, a 6'6" sophomore end, weighing 236 pounds, took a quickie. He seemed to jiggle a little bit at the line as if he was going to block, Elmer, and then took off. And
just a little bit of a delay, Mel. Oddly enough, his teammates lovingly call him Punt Job for his size, 6'6" and 236 pounds.
The ball's on the 23-yard line of Georgia Tech. Steve Spurrier rolls out to his left, finds Trapp open, he throws, he misses it in the end zone.
Trapp was just slightly overthrown that time. He almost got his hands on it. He had his fingertips on it, but he couldn't get his hands on it in order to hold it. So as a result now, it's 2nd down and 10 yards to go from the 24-yard line of Georgia Tech for the Florida Gators as they are marching once more.
That 29-yard pass play has put them in good position. Paul Ewalson splits way out to the left. Trapp flanks right. Spurrier rolls out to his left, gets the block from McKeel, throws a pass to Trapp. He grabs it at the 13-yard line, is knocked out of bounds. For Ewalson it is who caught the pass and was knocked out of bounds. Paul Ewalson, the left end. And it is a 1st down for Florida.
Spurrier is now 11 for 24 unofficially for this evening. However, he's caught fire a little bit in the second half. 16 first downs for the Florida Gators as Spurrier directs them on another 1st down situation.
Trapp flanks out to the right. They got a slot left. And the handoff goes to fullback Graham McKeel, driving to the 10. W.J. Blaine, the middle linebacker, makes the stop.
That's Larry Smith coming back in the game now. Obviously, he shook off the injury that he went off the field with earlier. And, of course, down here on the 10.5-yard line, and the leading ball carrier, the Spurrier certainly needs this man in there in his backfield.
And he takes the ball from Spurrier and runs beautifully and still drives up to about the 2-yard line. As he went off on a pattern off the left side on a slant with good blocking. From the 10, he went across the 5 to the 2-yard line. And a 1st down for Florida at that point. Their 17th 1st down. So with Steve Spurrier directing Larry Smith and Graham McKeel and Trapp on the wing. Ewalson goes way out wide to the left, Trapp wide to the right. Smith behind McKeel. Smith goes in motion, the keeper by Spurrier, but he doesn't get anywhere. In the middle of that Georgia Tech line, using their 6'5" goal line defense, piled him up.
A lot of those defensive men picked an open slot in there and plunged in between it in order to stove it up down at the line of scrimmage. Spurrier actually picked up about a half a yard. So it's 2nd down now and about 1.5 yards to go for a touchdown. Spurrier breaks the huddle and brings his Gators up to the line of scrimmage.
Dick Trapp flanks out to the left. And Larry Smith goes in motion to the right. McKeel, the ball drives up and over for the touchdown. Graham McKeel drives over from the 1, climaxing a 60-yard drive. Field attempt the extra point, the snap, the spot, the boot, it's up, it's good. And that makes it 21-6. There's timeout on the field with the score, Florida 21, Georgia Tech 6. Bobby Adams kicks off for Florida. The ball is taken by Brown to 10. He's up to the 15, runs into his own man at the 20 to the 25, and fights his way to about the 27 or 8-yard line before he's piled up over on the far side of the field by Rex Rittger. Florida leading 21-6 in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes and 7 seconds left. The 1st and 10 now for Georgia Tech on their 27-yard line. A gun, one, of course, that did not have a warhead on it, but had a lot of smoke in it, was exploded after the last touchdown, and smoke is sort of settling over the field, making it quite hazy. Kim King fades, the southpaw tosser, being rushed. Now he fires, and the ball is knocked down at the 25. Intended for Mike Fortier, almost intercepted, however, by Tom Hungerbuehler. In fact, had he intercepted it, he'd have gone all the way.
It had been Katie by the gate. He was out there in the flat all alone. He was inside of the receiver. And as he reached up to grab the ball, it was batted down out of his hands. But he would have been the receiver, Tom Hungerbuehler, number 36, the left cornerback of the Gators.
2nd and 10 on the 27 for Georgia Tech. Mike Fortier wide to the left. And on a slot left, Kim King fires a pass incomplete at the 32-yard line, intended for Lenny Snow, who was well covered by Chip Hinton, the right linebacker. And we're going to have Larry Goode going at quarterback now for Kim King, as well as a line substitution. Jim Penley will go in for Bill Mora at left tackle. 3rd and 10 coming up for Georgia Tech on the Tech 27. With the slot left and Fortier split left. Craig Bainham in the slot. Wood fades. He throws right-handed, throws a pass, and he completes it at the 42-yard line to Mike Fortier, the split end. Larry Goode, who just had gone in, threw that pass beautifully.
One thing about Goode that time, he had plenty of time to throw the ball. He picked out his receiver down the field, Mike Fortier, who went down on a drag pattern. By drag pattern, I mean he delayed at the line of the scrimmage and then broke down over the center as the zone cleared.
Don Knapp made the tackle on the last play. Once again, slot left. Fortier split out to the left. Larry Goode running with the ball, and he's to the 45, to midfield. He's grabbed from behind and then hit again by George Grandy as he gets into Gator territory to the Florida 42-yard line.
And he's pretty close to that first down, Mel. I'm afraid they're going to have to measure for it. Here comes the chain gang to measure to see whether the quarterback, the substitute for Kim King, Larry Goode, picked up the first down.
I should have said the 47-yard line. And it is a first down. Florida out in front by a score of 21-6 with 7 minutes and 51 seconds left in the game. Fortier goes out to the right this time. Johnny Weaver's in at fullback. Giles Smith is in the tailback spot. Slot right. And Larry Goode going out. There's a marker on the play as the pass is thrown incomplete at the 40, intended for the wingback, Craig Bainham. Illegal procedure penalty against Georgia Tech. Illegal procedure infraction.
90% of the time, Mel, that's an in-motion penalty by either a flanker or one of your running backs. As a result, the official, Pete Williams, is talking down there with the defensive captain of the Gators, either Jim Schreier or Sammy Burt, Billy Schreier, rather.
Red Anderson, who is the defensive captain for Florida, is a very fine, he's a senior, a very fine guard. He plays both left and right guard. The penalty of 5 yards stepped off. 1st and 15 on the 47 of Florida. Fortier out wide to the right, slot right. And the ball is being carried by Giles Smith, who breaks off the right side of the Gator line, twists and swivels and turns and weaves his way, trying to break all the way, but he got only to the 43-yard line before he was finally down by Bobby Adams. He was certainly giving him a lot of head fakes and shoulder fakes in there, Elmer.
Yes, he was, Mel. As he broke off the left side, he broke back to the inside with a good fake and then broke to the outside again, going down to the 43.5-yard line.
Mike Fortier out wide to the right. Craig Bainham flanked out wide to the right. And an I formation in behind Goode. Goode fires down the middle and completes it at the 25-yard line to tight end Steve Allman, with George Grandy making the tackle. Larry Rentz came up from the safety spot to help out, and it's a first down for Georgia Tech now on the 24-yard line of Florida.
Now, one thing that Larry Goode is doing is getting back very quickly in order to set up to throw that ball. So he's doing a good job out there.
Same formation, but over to the left, and this time a keeper by Larry Goode, and he's dropped at the 25-yard line. Bobby Dodd is sending in John Sias now at the wingback spot in place of Craig Bainham. And the line change for Florida. Doug Splain is out. And so with the 2nd and 11 on the 25, Goode drops back in the pocket. His hand is hit as he starts to throw the ball, and it drops harmlessly to the ground.
Rex Ritkers, the defensive left end, was the man that came in and hit Larry Goode from the rear. As a result, the ball went incomplete. That'll be third down now, and a real tough third down. 3rd and 11 for Georgia Tech. This is a must-play for them at this point in the ballgame.
Buddy McCoy has come into the line. Tech sends Joel Stevenson out wide to the right and flanks Johnny Sias out there, leaving Weaver and Smith in behind Larry Goode, who drops back in the pocket, fires the pass incomplete. That's about the 10-yard line. Tom Hungerbuehler was defending against it and very nearly got himself into a negative position there with pass interference.
Joel Stevenson that time, when he went down and tried to break to the inside, lost his balance a little bit as a result. The defender ran over him as he started to go down.
So it's a 4th down coming up and 11 to go. The ball on the 25-yard line of Florida, and you know what this is going to be. A triple wing set up off to the right. Larry Goode runs with the ball, and C.C. Leidy's to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and he's over for the touchdown. How about that? With a 4th and 11, on the 25, he went for the touchdown. And that makes it 21 to 12, and Tech now will have to try for the 2 points. Larry Goode, replacing Kim King, really moved the Ramblin' Wrecks, who went from their own 27, King directing part of the tag, to the touchdown. They got men wide, left and right, and Goode rolling out to the right, throws his pass, and it's dropped in the end zone. Right in the arms of Steve Allman, who dropped it. Nobody there, right in the breadbasket.
Like 2 points for sure. Like Paul Christmas used to say to me, hit me in the bad spot, right in the hands, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that Steve Allman, the intended receiver, is as much disgusted as everybody else. It's real tough down there to be down there alone in the end zone and have the ball thrown right to you and drop it. Nothing but anxiety on the part of the receiver.
There's time out on the field now with a score of Florida 21, Georgia Tech 12.
Hi, this is Bill Cullen. I've got 10 good reasons why you should make a New Year's resolution to listen to NBC Radio every weekday in 1967. Matter of fact, I can give you all 10 reasons in just one word: emphasis. Emphasis features 10 different personalities: Chet Huntley, Barbara Walters, Dr. Joyce Brothers, Sander Van Oker, Merrill Muller, Carl Stern, Bill Davidson, Edwin Newman, Tom Pettit, and me, Bill Cullen. Emphasis is a radio program delivering the finest listening available, thought-provoking, entertaining 5-minute essays about people and the times. Emphasis. 10 reasons why in 1967...
With 5 minutes, 34 seconds left, Tommy Carmichael boots it deep, and George Grandy takes it in the end zone, is going to run it out. He's to the 10, to the 15, driving to the 20-yard line, where he is tackled
with Florida leading Georgia Tech 21-12. Tommy Gresham made the stop for Georgia Tech. Elmer and I were both anticipating a possible onside kick attempt with Tech trailing there 21-12 and only 5.5 minutes left to go. But he kicked it off into the end zone, and so it is Florida's ball, first and 10. They've spotted it on the 19. Dick Trapp comes out wide to the right. Steve Spurrier, the quarterback, directing the team from the eye, gives it to Larry Smith, who's up the middle to the 21-yard line approximately, where he's tackled by Randall Edmonds and W.J. Blaine, the two linebackers. Second down and 8 on the 21.
Even though Florida's ahead by 9 points at this point, Mel, they can't afford to take it easy out there. They've got to control that ball. They've got to make first downs, and they've got to keep that ball on the ground.
Trapp out wide to the right. McKeel and Smith in the eye, in behind Spurrier. He gives it to Larry Smith straight ahead, across the 20, up to the 21, possibly the 22. May have gained a yard on the play. We'll give him a yard, call it 3rd and 7 on the 22. The tackle, Tommy Carlisle.
And again, we're talking about a big third down play, Mel. Sawyer's got to come up with that play. Of course, coming in from the bench now is the play with Wayne Barfield bringing it into the huddle as a substitute.
And Trapp comes out wide to the right. End is split out to the left. That's Paul Ewaldson. And Spurrier, dropping back, fires the pass and completes it to Trapp at the 30. A sideline pass. He's knocked out of bounds at that point.
And I believe he has enough yardage for the first down, Mel.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Florida at that point.
Florida keeps the drive alive now with that first down. And, of course, with the seconds starting to run off the clock, 4:01 remaining in the fourth quarter, as long as they can control the ball with a 9-point lead, they're home safe in this 33rd Orange Bowl.
Dick Trapp out wide to the right. The end's in tight. Larry Smith and Wayne Barfield in behind Spurrier. Barfield takes the ball, breaks into the secondary out to the 35 to the 36-yard line, where he's stopped by Sammy Burke and Dave Barber. Second down and 4. Ball on the 36. Ewaldson goes out. Gene Peak is in his replacement, and breaking into the middle is Larry Smith, and he almost got away, but he got to the 47-yard line for a first down. It's kind of a play he went 94 yards on a little while ago, but he was just one step short of getting all the way that time. 1st and 10 for the Gators on their 47. 3 minutes remaining in the game. Trapp flanks out to the left, ends in tight. Smith and Barfield in behind Spurrier. Spurrier fakes the both back, throws a pass to Trapp. He grabs it at the 36-yard line of Georgia Tech. Tackled by Bill Eastman. And Steve Spurrier there hit his man right on target.
And again, the Florida Gators, Mel, hold true to form. They've been a second-half ball club in this ball game, as they have all season long. Sawyer finally finding his mark out here. Getting Trapped that time for his first down. His timeout is called down on the field. It's an official timeout.
Marquise Baszler has come in at fullback in place of Wayne Barfield. Marquise Baszler is from Atlanta, Georgia. He's been hurt, but they wanted to get him in there for a few plays anyway against some of the boys that he knows from Atlanta. J.D. Pasteris is also going into the game. And he is from Miami. Pasteris, who has been a regular but has been hurt, hasn't he, Charlie? So they're letting him get in for a few plays. And there is a theme, in a sense, of a portion of this game, Elmer. There are many Florida boys on the Tech team, many Georgia boys on the Florida team, and here's a great example of it right here. These two substitutions.
Of course, the story of the game, Mello, too, is the fact that Spurrier has caught fire here. He's 13 at 26 now, against 5 against 9, 19 rather, for the Georgia Tech pass.
A handoff this time to Larry Smith. on a slant off the left side of the Tech line. He gets to the 34-yard line, starting with 1st and 10 on the 37, stopped by Dave Barber. They spot it on the 33, make it 2nd and 6, and the clock running. Just 2 minutes and 8 seconds as we speak to you now. It's 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and so the clock runs. Wayne Barfield is in at fullback. The handoff goes to Smith, to Barfield, rather. He breaks into the open. He's to the 15 and down to the 12. Wayne Barfield carrying the ball and breaking straight up the middle. Mel, we've just been notified that Larry Smith's 94-yard touchdown run is a new record for the Orange Bowl game for a run from scrimmage. 94 yards by Larry Smith. Another record broken this evening. Barfield back, protecting for Spurrier. Spurrier throwing a pass. It's completed at the 9-yard line. The tackle made by Haven Kicklighter on Dick Trapp, who caught the pass. And the Gators are on the drive now as they lead 21-12 with a minute and 10 seconds left in the game. Larry Smith in behind Wayne Barfield. Trapp on the wing. The end's in tight. Spurrier rolls out, and he throws a pass that's intercepted in the end zone by W.J. Blaine. He tried to run it out, came back out to the 10, and was tackled. He was going to try to haul it all away if he could. When he caught in the end zone, he has the right to come out with it. But he was tackled on the 12-yard line. The clock is stopped with 54 seconds left in the game. The tackle was made by John Preston. There's timeout on the field with the score, Florida 21, Georgia Tech 12.
This is Brad Crandall, your Sunday night Monitor host, inviting you to join me on Monitor 67. Monitor 67, the new vibrant, sparkling sound of radio. Monitor 67 on NBC Radio. Monitor 67 every weekend.
With 54 seconds left in the 33rd Orange Bowl game, the University of Florida Gators, ranked 11th in the nation, lead the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, ranked 8th. Tech has the ball 1st and 10 on its 11-yard line. Johnny Sias is out wide to the left. Larry Goode with the ball. Has plenty of protection, throws, and his pass is intercepted at the 32 by Larry Rentz. He's to the 20, to the 15, dancing to the 10, and down at that point. Safety man Larry Rentz, with that lead, he just took the chance. So the pass wasn't thrown too hard. It was lobbed high, and he figured, well, I might as well take a chance here with a little time left. Maybe I can pick it off and run in front of the intended receiver, which he did, and got the ball down to the 11-yard line where they've spotted it. The clock is stopped at 27 seconds left. How about that? 27 seconds left. The Gators have another shot at another score down here. The ball's on the 11-yard line now. Tom Christian's in the game. Mike McCann's out wide the left. Christian's in the slot left. Harmon Wages is in at quarterback. Wayne Barfield at fullback. There's a marker on the play as the pass is thrown and dropped in the end zone by Tommy Glenn, who had gone in at the wingback spot. There was a marker on the play anyway. The penalty, I believe, was against Georgia Tech. They were offside. Clock is stopped with 22 seconds left. And so that moves the ball to the 6-yard line. Tech was offside. So as we pick up these substitutions, Tommy Glenn at the wingback spot, Harmon Wages at quarter, Larry Smith at the wingback, and Wayne Barfield at full. And from the eye, with a flanker left,
The ball is given to Christian. He's driving now up to the 3-yard line and then is carried laterally by the Tech tacklers, led by Billy Schroer. There's timeout on the field with the score, Florida 21, Georgia Tech 12.
This is Morgan Beatty, NBC News, asking, what about today's rebellious young? Are they cool cats, swingers? What do they believe? Or do today's youngsters from 14 through 17 grow up without belief?
We're doing what we feel like we're doing. Just ourselves. We're real. As far as I'm concerned, I'm real. I'm as real as can be.
Some youngsters are caught up in the cool rebellion.
Well, it's pretty common. Just about every school kid that I know that's going to these suburb schools, they're supposed to be clean cut and take dope.
Second Sunday, the NBC radio documentary series on provocative subjects. Next Sunday, the series takes a fascinating look at young teenagers, kids caught up in the cool rebellion. Listen as my colleague Bill Wyan questions guys who look like dolls and dolls who wear miniskirts over most of these NBC stations next Sunday.
Homer Wages passes, hits Coons in the end zone for a touchdown, and Florida leads 27-12. And the tie the extra point now with Larry Rent holding, and Steve Spurrier will try the extra point. The snap, and he faked it. He's going to try for 2. He throws the pass. It's knocked down in the end zone. That was Spurrier's last play on offense for Florida. One of the great stars in intercollegiate history. A winner of the Heisman Trophy. And I think that's probably why he went for the 2 points there to try to make that one last play.
I'm certain he did with the wonderful arm that he's had all season long, with a 61% completion average and 2,012 yards gained. I'm certain that Coach Ray Graves put him in there just to throw that ball that time.
Florida leading 27-12 with 11 seconds left in the game. Wages hit Coons for the touchdown. Bobby Adams will kick off. Jimmy Brown is the deep man, and the squib kick bounces around and is picked up on the 25-yard line by Craig Bainham. He's up to the 30 to 35 and out of bounds at about the 40 over by the Tech bench. Going out of bounds stops the clock with 6 seconds left. Mike Santilli made the tackle.
Looks like there's a penalty down the field, Mel. I believe they called the Florida Gators offside on the kick. Let's see what Georgia Tech elects to do. They have a choice of either having Florida kick over or I'll take the ball right where it is on the 40-yard line.
They'll probably take the ball where it is, and they do, certainly. Right at the 40. And so with a 1st and 10, Georgia Tech trailing Florida 27-12, has Lenny Snow at the tailback spot. Mike Fortier splits left, Almond wide to the right. And Larry Goode fades and then throws a long pass. It's intended for Snow, and Snow grabs it at the 10 as the gun goes off, and he hits the ground at about the 9-yard line as the game ends. Larry Snow catching that bomb, but it did no good. That's the end of the game with the final score. Florida 27, Georgia Tech 12. We'll be back in a moment with the final wrap-up of today's game.
Monitor 67, a new, vibrant, swinging sound. And I'm Gene Rayburn, part of the Saturday morning Monitor 67 scene. Join me and
Ed McMahon. Monitor turns you on. So tune us in Saturday afternoons on NBC.
Morgan here. Henry Morgan, Monitor 67, Saturday night.
I'm Barry Nelson. Sunday afternoons, come along with me for the new sound of Monitor 67.
And Brad Crandall here. Sunday nights, the good new sound of Monitor 67.
And so the 33rd Orange Bowl is history. And the Florida Gators, ranked 11th in the nation, have defeated 8th-ranked Georgia Tech 27-12, despite Georgia Tech having gotten off to a first quarter 6-0 lead. But to recap the game and give you its highlights, here is Elmer Angsman.
Thank you very much, Mel. Well, let's start it out early in the first quarter. The Georgia Tech ball club, largely on a Snow by Lenny Snow, a 37-yard run, and finally a pass from Kim King to Fortier, his front end. 21-yard pass, capped an 81-yard drive with Bucky Henry attempting the extra point and, of course, failing because of a high pass from center. Then, late in the second quarter, the Florida Gators came to life, and a clipping penalty by Bill Moore gave them new breath and a new life and a first down, of course. In the 67-yard march, McKeel finally went over from a yard out with Barfield kicking the extra point. So at the end of the first half, the score was Florida 7, Georgia Tech 6. Then in the third quarter, an amazing 94-yard run, which incidentally is a new record here at the Orange Bowl by Larry Smith, put Florida out in front by a score of 14-6.
And Elmer, may I just interrupt momentarily to say I've just gotten word that Larry Smith was voted the game's most valuable player.
Well, according to my unofficial statistics, Mel, the last count that I had on it, he was over 150 yards for his evening's work, and certainly he deserves the most valuable award. Getting on with the recap in the fourth quarter, Spurrier finally handed the ball off after a long march to McKeel again from a yard and a half out, and of course that made the score 21-6 with Barfield's extra point being good. Then Larry Goode came in for Kim King. Kim King did not have a very good evening, and Goode, rolling out, trying to pick out a receiver, finally tucked the ball under his arm on a fourth down and 11 yards to go situation, running the ball 25 yards in for a score. As a result, that brought the score up to 21-12. Now, Georgia Tech kicked off with Florida receiving the ball. They got the ball out, and they must have had to control the ball at that point. There was 5 minutes and 34 seconds remaining, and they managed to march down the field, and finally Harmon Wages threw a ball to Jack Coons, and finally the coach Ray Graves put Spurrier in there with about 14 seconds remaining, with Spurrier attempting to pass for the extra 2 points, and of course his last pass as a collegiate football player. So once again, that final score was the Florida Gators 27, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 12.
And so Georgia Tech in its 19th bowl game lost its 6th bowl game. They had won 12 previously, while Florida in its first Orange Bowl game is returned victorious, and they now have a record of 3-1 in the Gator Bowl, 0-1 in the Sugar Bowl, and 1-0 here, so that gives them a 4-2 record overall. Alabama, who defeated Nebraska in the Sugar Bowl today, 34-7, has won 12, lost 6, and tied 2. They've been in 20 bowls. And as you know, Purdue defeated USC 14-13 in the Rose Bowl. And so the season ends for Florida and Georgia Tech, both of whom came up to the end of their schedules, close to the end, undefeated. But Florida lost 2 out of the last 3, and Tech lost its last game. And so Tech winds up with a record of 9 wins and 2 losses, counting the bowl game, and Florida with a record of 9 wins and 2 losses, counting the bowl game. We'd like to thank President Dr. J. Wayne Reitz of Florida, the Assistant Athletic Director Percy Beard, Athletic Director and Head Coach Ray Graves, and his fine staff of Gene Ellison, Ed Kinsler, Billy Kennard, Fred Pancos, Don Brown, Bubba McGowan, Larry Travis, Dave Fuller, and Jack Thompson. And their Sports Information Director, Norm Carlson. And for Georgia Tech, President Dr. Edmund Davies Harrison, Athletic Director, and Head Coach Bobby Dodd, and his staff, John McKenna, Jack Griffin, Bud Carson, Lou Woodruff, Dick Bell, Dub Festerman, Rock Fulcher, Jess Berry, Jim Luck.
and Sports Information Director Ned West. So, in behalf of Elmer Angsman, this is Mel Allen thanking all of you for listening in. Hope you enjoyed the game as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. The final score, once again, Florida 27, Georgia Tech 12. Goodbye, everybody.